right behind me is the old city of Kashgar, 2,000 years old. It's over midnight, and it's bustling with domestic tourists from all over China. And they see, wow, this is part of China. This is developing fast. And you go to a city like Urumqi, you have the same services as Shanghai, Beijing, or Guangzhou. It's extraordinary. And they look at the West now with what is this? What are they doing? They are puzzled by this progressive suicidal move of Western civilization.
大家好，明天是中秋节，因为不一定有时间摆弄电脑，所以提前一天祝大家生活如圆月，事事皆圆满，中秋快乐。今天看到一段纳波利塔诺对佩佩、埃斯科巴的采访，这两位都是政治评论节目里的老面孔了。原本是采访佩佩对近期几个国际热点问题的看法，比如伊朗、加沙、委内瑞拉、美俄等等。结果佩佩因为此刻人在新疆，所见所闻让他大为惊奇，聊新疆聊得刹不住车，太兴奋了，主持人拽都拽不住。我觉得很有喜感，就截了这一段，我们来看看他是怎么说的。
Today is Thursday, October 2nd, 2025. Pepe Escobar joins us now, where it's already Friday in China. Pepe, it's a pleasure, my dear friend. Thank you for staying up late. You look like you're in a wonderful location with a great and busy street scene on early Friday morning.
Midnight.
Wow. And how far from Beijing are you?
Wow. It's over 5,000 kilometers, and we are at over 5,000 kilometers from Shanghai.
Wow.
We are in Kashgar, which is the last major tier 4 city, meaning 4 million people in Xinjiang before you get to the China-Pakistan border, which is roughly 10 hours away from here. We were very close to the border yesterday. We were in Pamir lands yesterday, which is very close to the China-Pakistan border. And
wow.
The context for you, Judge, in 1 minute, and to our audience, because this is probably the first time you're going to see Kashgar live on your show. We have been shooting a documentary across Xinjiang. We started in Urumqi, the capital of Xinjiang. We did the major oasis in the Northern Silk Road. We crossed the Taklamakan Desert from the north to the south. We continued on the Southern Silk Road. We are in Kashgar, and from Kashgar, we went very, very close to the China-Pakistan border. This will be part of an independent documentary. It's a Chinese production. Our support team, Chinese, is absolutely extraordinary. And my cameraman, Stan, he's Russian. He lives in Shanghai, and he organized this setup especially for your show today.
Well, you are 10,000 miles from New York City, and
yes.
This reception we have of you, both the audio and the visual image, is spectacular, just spectacular, Pepe.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thanks to Stan.
I know you're a night owl, but thank you very much for staying up so late for us.
We just came from a Uyghur wedding, Judge. Literally. Yes. We were at a wedding.
Wow. I want to talk to you at some length on the Israeli and American preparation for attacking Iran and Iran's likely response.
I didn't go to the Valdai this year because my priority was to travel in Xinjiang, in Western China, to see the development of the far west of China, which is something it's practically inexplicable to the West. In what I've seen here, of course, I ditched following the West and even the war in Ukraine for 2 weeks. And when I came back to it yesterday and I saw what Hegseth has been saying and that famous meeting of Trump with the generals and all that, from the Chinese point of view, Judge, and from this region that is growing at 7% GDP a year, way above Chinese development. And you see moderately prosperous society as enunciated by President Xi Jinping on the move, doing domestic tourism. Right behind me is the old city of Kashgar, 2,000 years old. It's over midnight, and it's bustling with domestic tourists from all over China. They come here in their state-of-the-art SUVs. They have charging stations all over the place, their latest smartphones, disposable income, and they look at the West now with what is this? What are they doing? They are puzzled by this progressive, suicidal move of Western civilization. And more moderately prosperous Chinese that we're seeing here from all regions of China, they are already whispering to each other, look, this is really the past. We are already in the post-Western world, and we are leading. They are self-confident enough to see that, to admit that to one another. And they look at us, there are very, very few foreigners here. In 2 weeks, we met like less than 10.
Wow.
2 weeks.
You mentioned Secretary Hegseth. Did the Russians and the Chinese military and diplomatic and political leadership take note of the absurd speeches that Secretary Hegseth and President Trump gave? And they gave it where they assembled every single American general and admiral on the planet in one room?
They did, Judge. From what I've seen since yesterday, I took a look at our friends from Guangzhou in Shanghai, and they are puzzled. And they are, of course, they are not openly mocking the absurdity of it all, the Kafkaesque absurdity of it all, but they are puzzled. And they immediately identify as a collapse of intellectual capabilities and strategic thinking of the so-called elites of the U.S. and NATO, as even more accelerated than a few days ago. It's fascinating to see on the ground here, all across Xinjiang, how the rest of China is proud of what has been achieved by Xinjiang in these past few years. For instance, very important number, less than one Chinese has ever been to Xinjiang. They're starting to come now. For instance, last year we had, according to an official number that I tried to confirm this today, and they told me, yes, this is the official number, 300 million Chinese tourists came to Xinjiang in 2024.
Wow.
This means like practically the population of the European Union. In 1 year, they're coming here to see Xinjiang for the first time. And they see, wow, this is part of China. This is developing fast. And you go to a city like Urumqi, you have the same services as Shanghai, Beijing, or Guangzhou. It's extraordinary. So in terms of this geoeconomic development and the interaction with the neighbors, for instance, we were in parts of the New Silk Roads, the China-Pakistan Economic Corridor, the Belt and Road, you name it. You see trade back and forth in front of you. When you drive from Urumqi, you see a sea of solar panels, solar stations, wind turbine farms, electrification all over. And when you compare to even certain parts of the United States, wow, this is eons ahead. It's so impressive that it takes your breath away, in fact. And then when you start to compare politically with what's on CGTN or in Xinhua or in Guangzhou, which is more independent, they are perplexed at the decadence of the US and Europe at the same time.